All right, so you just graduated boot camp and you're getting ready to go to MCT or Marine Combat Training because that's the next step in the entry-level training pipeline after boot camp, and you're lost. You have no idea what to expect. You've been on YouTube, you've seen a couple videos, you've asked some friends, you've gotten some mixed, things back and forth of what to expect. But as a prior combat instructor, I have 5 tips for you guys that are getting ready to go to MCT, whether you just graduated boot camp and you're going next week or this week, whether you haven't gone to boot camp yet and you're going in the future. No matter what, if you are a non-03 Marine, meaning any MOS outside of 03XX, you will be going to MCT. For those who are getting ready to go, I got tips for you that will help prepare you more so than what you know right now, so that when you get to MCT, you guys crush it, have a good time. It makes it just that much easier because there's going to be a lot of hurrying up and wait. So with that, let's start off with number 1. So my number 1 tip for everyone getting ready to go to MCT, whether you're a male, female, etc., is buy good boot socks. Now I know this sounds silly. You're like, I got issued boot socks in boot camp. Why would I go out and buy other boot socks? And I get that question a lot, and it's a valid point, except the fact that what you were issued in boot camp is absolute trash. Those thin ass boot socks that suck, that are like super light brown now because you've washed them like 300 times, that are worn out, that are about as thin can be, probably have holes in them and whatnot. Yeah, those things suck. So go ahead and throw those things away and do yourself a favor and go to the PX and spend 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks. Yeah, I said 50 bucks on some socks because your feet will thank you later. In MCT, you're on your feet all day, every day, just like you were in boot camp, except for this time you do a lot more hiking, a lot more movements with a pack on and a rifle in your hand, sometimes a 240 machine gun or whatever the case is, and it gets heavy, which means your feet take a lot of pounding day in and day out. So the next time you're at the PX, guys, go and buy those socks that are about $10 to $15 a pair. Yes, it's expensive depending on how cheap or whatever you want to be, but I'm telling you guys, from experience, I wear nice socks. I spend a ton of money on socks, way more than I want to admit on camera, but I spend a lot of money on socks because they work. When you buy nice quality good socks, it not only cushions and protects your feet, but they last a hell of a lot longer than those thin things you guys get in boot camp. I've had the same socks or some of the same socks for like 5 or 6 years because I spent $15 to $20 per pair, which is expensive, but they last, and I never, ever get blisters. And I say that because a lot of you guys who are at MCT hiking a lot, the number 1 complaint you guys do is complain about your feet, and I have blisters, and I have hot spots, and I can't walk, and doc, come here and give me moleskin, and all this other crap that can be easily prevented by good socks. So number 1, take those socks, throw them away, go buy 4 or 5 pairs of nice boot socks, and you will thank me later, and more importantly, you'll thank yourself. So that's number 1. Number 2, go and buy yourself a good pair of boots. Now, I, as a junior Marine, was always against buying new and nice boots because the Marine Corps issued me boots. And if I did need new boots, I would go buy at first the cheap, USMC jungle boots that you get issued in boot camp. Yeah, I'd go to the PX and spend about 60, 70 bucks for those same boots again because they were good enough. And then I started, realizing that they sucked. And other people had those Danners, which I never bought Danners when I was younger because $300 for a pair of boots I thought was insane. But now it's the best thing I ever did in my life. But then I went to Bates Lights, which are good, but they wear out super fast. They last about 6 months until the bottoms become as slick as the bottom of your hand. And now you really can't wear them anymore because when you step on water, you will literally slip in those boots. So go to the PX and spend like $200 to $250 on a good pair of boots. Now, some people will say that's stupid, don't do that. That's my opinion. I was a combat instructor. I was on my feet for a long time. I've been in the Marine Corps for 14 years, and I've gone through so many pairs of boots, and the best boots I've ever owned, hands down, ever, are the Danner Reckoning boots. I think they're between like $250 to $280. I've had 2 pairs of them since 2016 or 17, and they're phenomenal. They're great. They're supportive. 100% would recommend them to anybody, and especially those new guys starting out. Yes, you have boots. You probably trash them in boot camp. So if you're looking for new boots, do yourself a favor and buy new ones, because when you're on your feet all day, every day, which no matter what your job is in the Marine Corps, whether you're infantry, whether you're non-infantry, etc., you're going to wear your camis every single day. And part of wearing camis is wearing boots every single day. So why not buy something good that's going to last, but more importantly, that's comfortable for your feet, that you will be on all the time, and especially at MCT when you're hiking and you're running and you're moving from point A to point B to point Z all day, every day. Your future self will thank you. So that's number 2. Buy yourself a good pair of boots. Now, number 3, which is more like 2.5, is a good pair of insoles. Now, I'm not talking Dr. Scholl's, that gelin BS you see on commercials. Those things suck. I tried them. They're trash. Trust me, don't do it. Don't waste the 15 or 20 bucks that they charge for them, because it is literally a waste of money. But instead, go to the PX online, wherever. I say PX a lot because it's on a base you're going to be at anyways, and buy either the Super Feet that are between like 25 to like 40 bucks, depending on which ones you get, or my personal favorite, it's the Your Sole. YOURSOLE. I use those, and I've used those for years, and they're phenomenal. You literally take them, you put them in the oven, or you warm them up, and then you put them in your boot and you put your foot on it, and it literally molds your foot to the boot, so that you have a no kidding custom insole that is now molded to your foot, so that when you wear your boots every single day, they're comfortable. So go buy yourself a good pair of insoles. Invest the money. Yes, boots are expensive. Yes, socks are expensive. Yes, insoles are expensive. But when you buy nice, you don't buy twice. When you buy cheap, you're going to be replacing them more frequently than if you just buy nice off the start. And I know you guys have money because you just graduated boot camp. You made a couple $1,000s when you were there. So instead of buying that stupid video game you don't need, go buy yourself some boots instead, or some socks, or some insoles, or hell, all 3, and you'll thank yourself later. So that's number like 2.5. All right, so number 3, you just bought the new boots. Break in those new boots. The last thing you want to do is hike in a brand new set of boots, because it will tear your feet up. It will tear your feet up. The boots are not meant to be put on from the box on your feet and then going on a 10 or 15K hike. You will get blisters. Your feet will hate you. Believe me. What some guys do, and I always thought it was crazy until I tried it, was the brand new boots that are shiny, pretty out of the box. Yeah, take those, lace them up, put them on your feet, and then go in the shower and shower in the boots. Get them soaking wet, wet the boots, and then keep them on until your feet dry. That is going to break the leather in. It's going to break the boots in, and they're going to be perfectly fit for you, ready to go. You can do that overnight, so that the next day when you go on a hike, or the next few days you're going to hike, you'll be good. But do not buy the new boots, put them on your feet, and then hike the next day without breaking them in, because you will suffer. You will hate yourself. You will get blisters and hot spots and whatever. Trust me, I saw it all the time. Kids buying new boots and then falling out of hikes, getting put in the back of the Humvee because their feet were all tore up. So buy them, break them in, and you'll be fine. So number 3, break in those boots that you just bought. You're going to thank you. Now, number 4, this is for males and females. It's like a 2-parter. For my dudes out there, take some baby powder, Gold Bond, baby powder, whatever. Open up your underwear and dump some on your boys down there. Powder your private parts, man. For the ladies too, powder your groin area too, because when you're on hikes and you're moving around and you're sweating, moisture and skin rubbing together causes friction. And if your hands like this, my hands are getting nice and hot and uncomfortable. Now imagine your legs doing this for 4, 5, 8, 10, 12 miles. Yeah, you're gonna tear the skin on your legs and on your feet, etc. So when your feet are dry, right, and that powder absorbs the moisture, when they rub back and forth, there's less friction, which causes less rubbing, which means it's more comfortable for you out there. So take some baby powder, powder your groin area, and then take some Vaseline, right? Petroleum jelly, Vaseline, whatever. Take some, glob it on, and rub the insides of your thighs with that, so that when your legs do rub side to side, guess what's going to happen? That friction is going to be a hell of a lot less, meaning your legs are going to glide side to side, meaning you're not going to get, blisters or hot spots or anything on your legs and your skin, which is going to make hiking a lot more comfortable. Don't do it on your feet. Powder goes on your feet, powder goes on your groin, Vaseline goes on your legs, your left and right thighs. Just glob it on there. You'll thank me later. Learned all these tips as an instructor and things I've done in the Marine Corps, and these are just the smallest things that have helped out the most. Trust me. If you don't believe me, look at the comments below, and if you've done it before, you know what I'm talking about, leave a comment below and just tell these people what's up. And lastly, okay, this is probably the most important, I say the best for last. 99% of you guys never hiked before a day in your life. You have no idea how to pack a bag or any of that stuff, because your drill instructors, they don't teach you. I asked a whole bunch of students before. I had like 7,500 students when I was an instructor there, and none of them said that their drill instructors taught them how to do this. This is from 2015 to 2018, so maybe it's changed today in 2022, but all I know is what I know. And what I asked these kids, they had no idea how to pack a pack. So number 5 is pack your pack properly. that big Coyote Brown main pack that you get, if you pack it properly, hiking is easy. If you pack it improperly, hiking sucks. How do I know? Because I've done it both ways, and packing it incorrectly really makes hiking just unbearable and just shitty, to be honest. So all that, light stuff you have, your sleeping bag, your Gore-Tex, your poncho line, all that soft stuff, yeah, take that and stuff it in the bottom first and foremost. Now, if you didn't know, inside your pack, there's various straps inside the pack that you can basically block off certain layers, like the very bottom of your pouch. You can block off from like the top portion, etc. Yeah, use those as well. So take your sleeping system, take your Gore-Tex, take your, your warming layers, whatever you don't need, your poncho liner, put it in the bottom and create that base layer. Take your canteens, which you don't need ever because you have a Camelback and whatnot. You'll never ever use canteens. I have no idea why we still have them anyways. Put all that stuff on the bottom. Then your heavy stuff like your flak, your Kevlar, your Sappy plates, the stuff that weighs a lot, yeah, put that on top and then use the strap inside the pack to cinch it to your back. You don't want it flopping around loose in the pack, because when heavy stuff is flopping around in the pack and you're hiking and it's slapping into your back and forth, it's uncomfortable and makes hiking suck. Now, when you get that pack nice and tight, everything's packed inside nicely, the straps on your pack, cinch those to your back. Here's your back, here's your pack. They should be married up together. There should be no gap between it, because when there's a gap, that pack just flaps on your back, which means hiking up those hills and down those hills suck. Don't believe me? Ask the students who have gone before you, ask your friends or anyone else, because they're going to tell you the exact same thing. So pack your pack properly and wear your pack properly. And those 5 tips right there, guys, is what's going to help make MCT so much better for everyone that's going. And that's just for hiking. Like, there's so much more stuff we could talk about, but those are the 5 things I wanted to give you guys to help make your lives that much better. And then lastly, rounding it off with just like a little bonus tip, guys, listen to your instructors. You're young kids for the most of you. Most of you guys are 18, 19 years old. Yeah, there's older kids who join and whatnot, but listen to your instructors, because they know what they're talking about, okay? They're good dudes and good chicks who are your instructors, who are doing their job to teach you the basics of combat, how to survive in combat if you ever need it. That's their job. So when they're sitting there teaching you, taking their time out of their day to give a fuck about you and teach you, the least you could do is pay attention and give them your undivided attention, okay? Because I hated nothing more than giving a class in front of like 100 or sometimes 200 students, and you have those jackasses in the back just being rude and disrespectful, because I got to stop what I'm doing, give my attention to these guys to find out what they're doing, whatever the case is, and I'm taking away everyone else's attention who's actually trying to pay attention and learn. So don't be that guy, don't be that girl. Pay attention, have fun, and just enjoy it. There's going to be a lot of downtime and waiting around. There's like 400 of you as students, and there's only like 15 or 20 instructors, so the numbers are just way off. So yeah, sometimes you're going to get through an event really fast, and you're going to have to wait a long time for something else to start, and that's okay. The Marine Corps motto is like, hurry up and wait. Well, it starts at boot camp, and it definitely doesn't end at MCT, and it will continue throughout your career. But in that downtime, do something productive, read your knowledge, study, make yourself better than just sitting there and just wishing and complaining about, why is this so slow, why can't this go faster, etc. Do something meaningful with your time, and life's going to be that much better.